So red alert, guys, red alert, massive moves are happening. This is breaking news. This just happened, all right? So nuclear bombers are on the move. Nuclear bombers have been deployed 20 miles from NATO's border, all right? This is very serious. This is a huge development that this is happening. It's reported that approximately 11 planes, nuclear hypersonic bombers, have been deployed, all right, or supersonic bombers, sorry. So this is a huge development that this is happening, and this also comes as mass evacuations are happening, and countries are ordering their citizens to evacuate right now, to get out now before things get worse. I made a video a couple days ago how Western officials are warning that they are preparing for essentially martial law. They're preparing for people to mass panic buy and to flee the cities, all right? Something big is coming, something big is happening, and there's tons of movement going on. Hundreds of tanks are going into Belarus. Russia is sending hundreds of tanks, hundreds of military equipment, or hundreds of military vehicles, and thousands of military personnel are moving into Belarus. Putin made threats a few months ago that he's going to move nuclear-capable weapons into Belarus. There are lots of big things happening right now, all right? Right now, big developments. So let's start off, and then we'll get to these nuclear bombers that have been deployed. So China is warning its citizens to get out of Ukraine right now. It's telling its citizens, this is your final warning. You need to get out of Ukraine because something big is going to happen. And we know that China and Russia are close allies. We know that they share intel, they communicate, they share national security interests, all right? So for China to warn their citizens, you need to get out of Ukraine right now. This is your last warning. This is a huge red flag, and telling citizens to evacuate right now. This is a huge red flag that something big is going to happen in Ukraine. We keep seeing escalations of these Iranian drones. They have been used nonstop the past few days, and I believe it's possible that things could escalate even more. It's the perfect timing, the perfect temperature, the perfect rhetoric for something to happen. All right, so this is huge. China's ordering their citizens to evacuate right now. All right, we should take this very seriously. And this comes as Putin deploys 11 nuclear bombers, quote, just 20 miles from NATO border, as Russia warns of apocalyptic World War III. All right, so they have moved their nuclear bombers right on the border, all right, of NATO. And they moved it to Norway's border. They're right next to Norway right now, who is a member of NATO. And satellite imagery shows and flight radar pass shows that these have been flying around the border, and now they are stationed 20 miles from the border just as a threat to show what could happen, what they could do, all right? Finland told all their citizens to stockpile iodine right now. This happened last week. They told all their citizens, you need to have, every home in Finland should have an iodine dose, potassium iodine doses in case of a nuclear event. Even though a lot of the nuclear isotopes are uranium and plutonium, which iodine will not help, it's just that iodine is the one that your body most rapidly absorbs because your thyroid gland needs it, and it could cause massive issues to your thyroid gland if you get radioactive iodine in your system stuck in there, all right? So this is what's happening. They're deploying strategic supersonic bombers right near NATO's border. This just happened, all right? And what does this mean for the future of the world? What does this mean for these escalations? What does this mean for humanity, honestly, all right? Why does everything keep escalating? The rhetoric keeps escalating. Biden warns of a nuclear, quote, Armageddon, all right? And Russia's officials are coming out and saying a apocalyptic World War III is coming. That's what they're warning of. They summoned their, quote, General Armageddon, that's his name, quote, General Armageddon, to the front lines, all right? It seems like things slowed down for a few months, but now winter's coming and advances need to be made, gains need to be made before the whole place is covered in snow, before it is deep winter and it is hard to operate a military in the winter like that. So it's probably an escalation of time. There's also probably all these other things geopolitically that are going on that could be influencing the timing of this as well. But it definitely seems like we are getting close to this, all right? NATO is running nuclear bomber drills right now. They are running drills with their B-52 bombers and their B-2 bombers and their F-35 jets that they can put tactical small nukes on. They can put them on F-35 jets. I know this is just whatever, but they are running drills to do this, all right? So this is happening right now. It's called a nuclear deterrence drill, and it's where NATO flexes their nuclear muscles essentially to the world and shows that we can be anywhere in the world and activate a nuclear device just like anyone else can, all right? It's like flexing your muscles like, hey, I'm strong, you better not mess with us, all right? So that's what NATO is also doing. And Russia, this is happening right now, these drills. And Russia seems in response is moving their nuclear arsenal right up to NATO's border. This isn't what we want. Isn't this what NATO didn't want? Is to have nuclear weapons right on their border. I'm sure people in Norway feel great about this, having the nuclear Russian bombers right on their border. I'm sure they love this, feel great about it. And it just seems like this is not what we want. We keep digging the hole deeper into a situation that nobody wants. And pretty much nobody wins. Nobody wins in a nuclear war. Who wins? The environment gets polluted, destroyed, poisoned. The economies get destroyed. Everyone panics. People suffer. People lose their lives potentially, all right? This is just a massive lose on all ends. And NATO officials keep saying if Russia does something, they are going to respond too. There's going to be a massive response from their side too. So it's just like, we need a de-escalation. We need peace. And hopefully this comes soon, but I'm not sure, guys. Let me know what you guys think. And you guys have a big old blessed day.